Welcome into the original Father-Son voiceover podcast studio. That's Todd.
I'm Bob the Builder.
That's Todd. I'm Hudson. And that's John. Dad and I run our own voiceover businesses, one more successfully than the other. And then John is running a business with Joe, VO Marketing Pro.
And I'm going to be I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I'm not going to be in voiceover business now that my youngest son got me these
he wears those in there.
Carhartt. I'll be down at the workbench a lot. I'm going to start my own construction company.
Lots of wood cutting. Get your chainsaw out.
Very handy.
And we'll have 911 on speed dial.
Yeah, 911 on speed dial.
You will definitely cut yourself or do something.
Voiceover.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not familiar with these videos, we talk about our numbers, income, earnings, direct email marketing stats, our platform stats. So what we'll do is we'll start out with Johnny.
Okay.
They run VO Marketing Pro, and it is a direct email marketing business for people like my dad and I that they market to and for.
Yep, market for. And then we also have an invite only roster on our website that we are building, and we make cold calls. Drew's the master of cold calls, and Mom's second, and then me. And that's a big difference between second and third.
And first and second.
And first and second.
Yeah, Mom's good, but
yes,
Drew's
Mom
like
is good. Drew's
Michael Jordan of cold calls.
Yep, he worked in auto claims. So if any of you have someone that you know that's worked in insurance or something along those lines, cold calls are probably the least of your concerns with that. So Drew makes those, and then we send out emails out of Dad's database. We send out on behalf of the roster. We usually average around 1,000 a month. And Andy, Todd's assistant, sends those out. They're specifically for the roster. It doesn't go. We feature somebody throughout the month.
A person on the voice roster.
A person on the voice roster. They're kind of the headline, if you will, but it's to point people, those video production companies, to our roster. So yeah, that's what we do.
Okay.
And then you want me to do the numbers, I'm assuming.
I sure do. Why don't we hear those?
Okay, so this week we had 47 warm responses, and we had 10 auditions and 8 jobs reported.
Wow.
8 jobs. So we got 3 for Kimberly Young, 1 from a new client, and then 2 from a recurring client.
Nice, Kimberly.
Lauren Gobus, I can't remember if hers is recurring. I don't remember, but forgive me for that. But it is a job. Jennifer White, Noelle Romano.
All ladies.
With 2, and then Bill DeWeese with 1.
Okay.
With a recurring.
There you go. Nice, Bill.
Yep.
Big.
Yep.
That was several recurring, at least.
Yep, and
At least
there, like I
half of
said,
them.
there's auditions out there, and there's some people, like we've said before, if you follow us, we just report what comes into us, and then we also just report when people confirm that they got it. So, because sometimes we see that there's something in the works, but we want to make sure that the talent has for sure done it. And so there's a few out there that we're waiting to hear back on.
Are you still waiting back for some of the ones you were talking about last week? There were a couple that you weren't for sure on yet. Did any of those come through? Or were those any of those?
Yes, I can't remember. Yeah, I believe it was Noelle's.
Okay.
I believe. And then we're still waiting. Again, some of these can be a long time.
Yeah.
And
I just want to know
that-
if any of
based
them
on what
came
they
in.
report.
It's one of the things that I learned a long time ago is, and it's hard when you're not very busy, but do your auditions and then just forget them.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, it's really fun when all of a sudden they crop up 6 weeks later or 2 months later, and hey, we've got that script ready for you. I forgot all about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, here's $400. That's fun.
Yep. So that's it for us for what was reported.
All right.
So.
On to my numbers. As you remember, last week I had a very good week. This week was downhill a lot. So 6 warm responses. I had 2 auditions, no new clients, no recurring clients, and 0 jobs from direct email marketing. And then I had 1 job on Upwork, $175. I get $157.50. And then I had 3 jobs on Fiverr, $5, $12, and $7. And then I did 9 hours of editing for Dad. So last week was $3,158.50. This week was $336.70. So like I said last week,
It's a roller coaster.
Didn't get too high, didn't get too low. I was happy for that, but did the same things. Just probably just got all the jobs at one time.
That happens sometimes. So, they flood in.
Yeah. Anyway, those are my numbers, and I will be back on my high horse next week trying to get up to 750. So,
and if you don't make much, you'll not be on the high horse. Right?
I will be riding underneath the horse, being trampled.
But you and I talked about this, and it's the same for me and for anybody out there. It's not the successful weeks that shows your mettle, what you're made out of it. Mm-hmm. It's what happens after the week after your successful weeks when you plummet. Do you just, do you lose all of your steam, or do you say, nope, what got me that $3,000 week is what also got me the $300 week. But what you want to do is smooth this out to be more like this. Because mine does that, but it goes up. Mm-hmm. It goes up slowly. There's dips, and there's been
filling
dips.
In the cracks. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, there's been dips for me. Probably. I mean, my 2023 took off like a shot, and I knew it was going to because I had a large recurring client that I've worked with for years said, we've got a whole bunch of work. They even sent me an email with I don't know, there were like 30 projects on it, and each one was between $200 and $500. It was like, just give me this all. I would, it's work, it's long form, but nevertheless, I had that, and that ran out. They do have more work coming a little bit later on. I don't think it'll be as much. I mean, that was just a glut. But for the first 5 months of 2023, I took off like a shot. I think I was $12,000 or $14,000 above what I was a year before, which was the fastest I took off. But I want to get back to that. First, I'm just going to give my numbers for this week, and then I want to talk about the last, counting this year, and I haven't made $300,000 this year yet. That's still up in the air big time. But the 3 years before that, I've made over $300,000. And I wanted to just tell you what my years were, my numbers were for each one of those at this point in the year. So this week, Fiverr, $968. Demond and John, my two sons, put together a video. I helped put it together, but Demond did the final, and then you put it up on Fiverr.
Yep.
And so we're trying to gear things up. I've lowered my prices. We're trying to get the wheels going again. Upwork was $45, but I did a lot of auditions on voices.com, lots of them, and won one job. And I did a lot of proposals for Upwork. In fact, if you don't know anything about Upwork, this won't make any sense to you, but I bought some connects. You need connects to be able to do proposals. Audition, yeah. And so Hudson helped me do that. And so I actually bought some connects, kind of some ways to promote myself. And then direct email marketing was $3,850. For my total this week, $4,863. $4,863. So now back, what I'm trying to do is make $6,000 a week, which would be $300,000 a year. So this year, after 116 work days, I've made, and Demond, maybe you can type these out and just put those as we go through. So, because numbers can be difficult sometimes to follow. So in 2023, so far this year, $140,966. That's what I've made so far. $140,966. Now, if I want to make $300,000, I have 2 weeks left in June, which is half a year. So I've got about $9,000 to make up in those 2 weeks. We'll see what happens. We get closer to 4th of July. Yeah. It'd be tough. Anyway, I got $140,966 for 2023. Last year, I was at $144,699. So about, I don't know, $3,600. I'm $3,600 less than last year at this point. 2021, I was at $137,245. So this year I'm $3,000 above that. Mm-hmm. And in 2020, when I made $329,000, when I was 116 days in, I made 115,000,
Oh my.
377. So my point being is I'm in range.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm way down. Now I still have to do some work, and there's no promise, there's no guarantees. It's not like I'm going to say, well, I'm almost to that, so I know I'm going to make $300,000. I don't know. It's a crapshoot. Every week is different. Every month is different. Every year is different, and I just have to do the same things over and over and over again. But that's what I'm shooting for. If I don't make it, I don't make it. I'm not going to, wave the white flag. I'm just going to continue to tweak. I'm going to continue to beat the bushes. That's what I've been doing the last few weeks, and I'm just going to count on things continuing as best as they can. But I just want you guys to know that, because we talk about that regularly as a family, and I just want to give you a little bit of insight into my numbers since I started making $300,000 a year and where I was at. So hopefully those little numbers there that Demond is flashing will help you be able to see where I'm at.
Well,
so for transparency and encouragement.
Two things that we've talked about is that one, you've said that voices.com, you haven't been overly pleased with some of the things. They've changed.
Mm-hmm.
And so we made some adjustments on there, which made you a fair amount of money last year.
Yes. Yep.
And then we also moved up our rates on Fiverr because you were so busy with your email marketing that we had to make that change. Wow, I lost the word there. How I lost that, I don't know. Made that change.
You had it.
And so we had to, there's kind of seems like a groove area money-wise for what you can make on Fiverr to be reasonable but not be too
busy.
low. And so we're going back towards that because of your slowness right now. And so it's like anything, you're kind of like marketing yourself by being more in the game. And we moved up a significant amount in 2022 because of those changes. And so now we're making adjustments based on those. So it's going to take some time. But I spoke with somebody in our group last week that says that because he does really well on Fiverr and he just stays around the same amount all the time. And the good news is that there is still, I didn't know for sure if Fiverr had changed a bunch and if there was still work coming in, but it sounds like there's plenty of opportunities on Fiverr still if you're in that kind of range. And that was encouraging to talk with him because I like to learn from somebody as I run your Fiverr business, somebody that I can tell is successful in that. And he was kind enough to share his thoughts and what he's thinking about those things. And so that was encouraging to hear. So hopefully we'll get that up and running again. And maybe we'll have to make adjustments again based on if your email marketing gets busy again. But
and that's why we talk. I mean, those are very good points and encouraging for me and everybody else. We talk about having a simple, developing a simple business plan that works. Find somebody that's successful, go to school on them, apply what they've learned to your situation, and then just keep working that. Now, that doesn't mean you just, it doesn't mean you just stop thinking. It doesn't mean you just stop. I never tweak. I never do anything different. I'm always doing that. That's not true. I'm not always doing that. When I'm really busy, I'm just busy.
Keeping your head above water.
I'm just keeping my head above water. But when I'm not busy as I want to be, then I'm thinking. I'm just calmly, not flailing. I'm thinking, what do we need to do? And so that's why I bring these numbers here. I'm behind last year. I'm ahead of a couple of other years when I made $3,000 or more. $300,000. What did I say? $300,000 or more. But I'm not.
Like
but I'm just thinking. I'm just evaluating, and that's what we encourage you to do. So that's it.
All right. Thanks for watching this video. If you missed our Todd's Tips, you can go back and check those out in the Todd's Tips playlist. These have been our numbers. Thanks, John, for coming. And if you're interested in learning more about VO Marketing Pro and what they do, you can get a hold of them at
John Barsness at VO Marketing Pro or Joe Barsness at VOMarketingPro.com.
Demond, flash it.
Excuse me, both of those .com at the end. And that's the best way to get a hold of us. And if you really want to talk on the phone, we can arrange that too. So
All right. We will see you later. Check out the 63rd episode if you're interested of our laid back, fun, we think is fun
there you go.
podcast. Always comes out on Wednesday. So we'll see you later.